So, what's the importance of the marketing discipline in today's society? Do you think it's even more important now than it was when you started in business?
The fact is it's important, and it always was important, and it always will be important. Of course, the absolutely essential thing is to realize that it's not the selling, it's the quality of the product. If you've got the right product, then the selling of it follows from that.
And the marketeurs, which you're joining, as a group of expert marketing professionals, believes that marketing should have a more senior strategic input at boardroom level. In other words, more people with marketing expertise on boards. Do you agree?
I think about our own board, where the people who run the business, who are involved, the people with the great sort of responsibilities and with the sales experience and expertise, they're on the boards. How could you not have them on the boards? We don't have a marketing function because our whole company is designed to be a marketing operation. And the people who do the promotion of the product, the design of the product, the marketing of the product, they are all on the board, but they're not actually a discrete marketing unit.
But in today's society, do you think that marketing, therefore, has a greater value now, though, because everyone's marketing?
Yes, but I think they always were in different circumstances. It's just that today it's infinitely more complex. And you're dealing with often with an international group of markets that you're catering for. So the sophistication of it is huge today. And that does put a very considerable onus on having the specialist skills that the marketing world brings.
So how do you see the value of the marketeurs as a city livery company for senior marketing people?
Well, these organisations have to exist. They're an important, indeed an essential feature of representing the interests of a particular discipline. My own view is that we need to have a significant rationalisation of the organisations that represent the different disciplines to make them more powerful. So to that extent, I strongly support the idea that there need to be more powerful representative groups, trade associations.
And you funded Haymarket in the 1960s, and you pioneered the development of trade magazines such as Marketing, PR Week, Campaign, Management Today, which are all still going now. And Haymarket Group's now one of the largest privately owned media companies in the UK, with extensive interests, global interests now. So you're the chairman. How do you see the future of marketing in terms of trade magazines?
The whole industry in which I've spent my life is changing at a very bewildering speed. First of all, the recession has had a dramatic effect on the industry. But secondly, the shift from print to the web is unstoppable. Now, you can take a pessimistic view about that. I don't. I take a very optimistic view. The opportunities are today bigger than they've ever been. And it falls to any company to see these opportunities, go and fight for them, and hopefully win a proportion of them. That requires an obsession with the quality of the product, and then a very determined attempt to put forward the best case for selling it that you can. It's more demanding, faster moving, but the markets are much bigger today.
And do you think that people in marketing actually need different skills from when you started in the 60s, or do you think it's really the same skills but in a different context?
I think it's the same skills, but adjusted to the markets of today. People say to me about politics, what's new? I say there's nothing new, just read Shakespeare. And he explained the political challenges that are today as real as they were when he did it. And the same is true of all these skills like salesmanship and marketing. You either have the capacity to put forward your case, which you believe in, or you don't. And that was true in much less sophisticated circumstances. The need for it and the urgency for it may be bigger, but the same skills underlying people's capability are unchanged.
Now, you're currently working with the coalition government on pilot schemes for growth for small businesses in the Midlands. What can you tell us about that, the local enterprise partnerships?
Well, this is a huge shift from policies being designed for the local economy in London and imposed, as opposed to going to the people who are actually running the show in the local economies and saying, how would you do it if you had a bigger say in what's going on? That's working. It's very exciting. And of course, there is a marketing skill in that, because one of the things one wants to do is to encourage local people to sell their own product, and their own product is the strength and opportunity of their local economy.
And do you feel the City of London is now too dominant in the UK's economy, as some people argue?
Oh, without any doubt at all, the city, London, let's not confuse it with the city, let's call it London. Whitehall, London, is much too dominant, unlike any other capitalist economy on earth. Now, that's changing, and more power is being moved back to where the wealth is being made, in the provinces. The vital thing is not to damage the reputation of London as a great world centre whilst you're doing that.
And the creative economies, of course, are doing extremely well in the UK. Britain's creative industry growth is outpacing many other industries. And how can the government make it easy for startups and small businesses in the creative sector? What would you recommend?
Well, I would recommend they do what they're doing, because the very fact that you've said that they are growing so fast, they are so successful, the climate must be right. Someone is grasping the opportunities, and I see it everywhere. The fact is that we've started more businesses in the last 18 months, 2 years, than you could possibly imagine. So it's happening. The great trick for government is to recognize that they've created this climate of opportunity and not to do anything to spoil it.
So whoever is the government, what would you recommend that they should do in order to maintain the economic growth?
The important thing is to make it, first of all, possible for people to start their own businesses. That's happening on a massive scale. Secondly, as they begin to grow, they need perhaps additional cash. So making sure that there's available cash to help expand the small businesses is very important. That will only happen if you have relatively low taxes, because the people who are going to provide the extra cash have to do it out of taxed income. And so keeping taxes, income taxes, lowish and world competitive is very important. There's one other vital thing, and that is to tackle the underperformance of part of our education system and the shortage of skilled people. On skills, then it follows from what we were saying earlier, we need a very significant devolution from the London controls of the skills budgets in the public sector to local controls, because they create the jobs, they know where the shortages are.
And so do you feel that there isn't enough education about business and basic marketing?
I think that there is a serious opportunity for businesses to be much more involved in schools. As governors of the boards, that's obviously one way, giving careers advice, giving a way day experience for young people to show what jobs at work actually sounds like, feels like. There are many different ways. But the whole thrust of devolving power to the local economies is about creating opportunities. And if you're going to create opportunities, the most important you can do is give people the education to grasp the opportunities.
And finally, what's your message on the future of marketing?
Well, you can't run a sophisticated economy with choice, in other words, a free enterprise economy, without having the skills to sell products and to argue your case. And so marketing has always been an important part of the human dynamic and always will be.
Lord Heseltine, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.